An utterly dominant map one there for Astralis over Fnatic. Not really too much done by Fnatic. They tried their best to come back into that matchup, but they just could not get the rounds on the board that they needed. They couldn't get the CT economy going. Everything seemed to be working against them, and Astralis was not really giving them an inch back into that map.
And the few rounds they did win on their T side there, they had a fake that was sold at one point that got them onto B, but there was a few gun rounds, there was a few decent shots they were hitting, but even then it was mostly just the Astralis train from 8-2 to 9-6 to 16-9. There's a few comebacks in there, you can tell from the storyline, but on the whole, it was the Astralis train rolling through overhead on overpass.
Yeah, definitely. And for Fnatic, there was some good individual moments. JW was really standing up above the rest. Crims had a nice round in there as well, but they were too few and too far between for it to really make an impact against this Astralis unit that is looking in fantastic form.
Yeah, very cohesive, and they always do look that way, and that's why we love watching them so much, just that they're always playing as a team. There's never, I mean, the spread of their frags there towards the end, I didn't see the exact final scoreline, but towards the end there, it was like 14 bottom frag, 22 top frag. On the other side of Fnatic, it was like 21 was the top frag and 7 was the bottom or something like that. So Astralis always frag as a unit, and I know stats aren't everything. It's hard to tell a story from the scoreboard alone, but you can always see that they're always set up for trades, and their setups are always excellent.
Yeah, so Fnatic are the ones that are trying to claw their way back into this matchup, potentially facing getting knocked out 2-0, or knocked down 2-0, I should say. They're still here in the competition should they lose this one up against Astralis. But I want to hear from Fnatic and see how they were feeling coming into IEM Sydney. So let's jump into our interview with Golden.
When we practice more of like team play together, and that's like always our main focus, because we are better together than being alone and doing crazy stuff. We start like 1 p.m. We have 1 hour briefing of what we're gonna do today and new tactics, talk about mistakes and all that stuff. Then we practice 3 hours straight against other top teams. After that, we have 1 hour break to eat or chill or wherever. Then we back at it again, 2 more hours, then we're done for the day. Sometimes it's my hobby, this is what I love to do, and sometimes it feels like it's my job. Like I wake up, I do my routines, like I prepare, and it feels like a job. It really does. And I still in this mood that, wow, I'm doing this. This is crazy. So at the same time, it's my job, and I don't know, I kind of love it. So I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Some serious work to be done still here by Fnatic, but the benefit, at least for them, coming into map 2 is that it's their choice. So that's going to be a little bit helpful, but from the form that we've seen out from Astralis right now, I am very hesitant in saying that I think Fnatic could come back into this series. It really does look like we might be staring down the barrel of a 2-0 here.
That's what I thought we'd be looking at, and it looks like we are, but it is too early to tell until we actually get into this map. Of course, there's always the chance that Fnatic can come back into it, but they're going to need some very big performances from their stars, which were starting to step up a little bit on Overpass, but we'll need to see much more from Crims. JW had a few very sneaky moments and some good plays, but we'll need to see more from him. Flusher has been pretty quiet for most of this event from what I've seen of Fnatic, and we know the star power that he can have. It's ridiculous when he's on form. But on the side of Astralis, as we talked about briefly before that interview, everyone's really firing pretty evenly at the moment. They're all having some good times, some good rounds. So I think it's quite the hill for Fnatic to be climbing here.
Yeah, definitely. And they'll be on Cache as the second map here. But it's an interesting thing you bring up there with Astralis, how all of them are sort of stepping up here. And that's really tough, I think, for Fnatic to deal with when you've got 5 players that really seem to be all fragging. It's not like you can target a bomb site or you can target a specific player and try and get advantages from there. It really needs to be now all the rest of the Fnatic players that weren't fragging, which was pretty much everyone with the exception of JW, needing to step up here individually for Fnatic if they're even going to be able to challenge against Astralis now.
It's worth noting that it doesn't matter a huge amount if they do go down 2-0 here. Of course they don't want to, but at the bare minimum, they're already qualified for the stage. While they'd love to not have to play tomorrow, while they'd love the free pass through to the semis and the extra day of prep, they're not staring down the barrel of elimination. So it's not panic stations yet for Fnatic, I wouldn't think. Of course, they still put themselves at risk of being eliminated in the quarters, but then they could also be taken out in the semis. So at least they're through. They've got that going for them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for Astralis, really here, the key kind of storyline right now that we'd be looking at if they were to close that 2-0 out over Fnatic is, are they even going to be able to potentially close out IEM with an undefeated run? I mean, they were close to doing it at Marseille, and there was quite a lot of good teams at Marseille. I would actually even say I think the competition at Marseille was a little bit more intense, given the caliber of teams there. But so far, Astralis haven't dropped a map just yet. There's a real possibility that they actually come out of IEM Sydney if they end up being the victors and having not dropped a map.
Yeah, that's certainly possible, given the caliber of the competition who remains. I mean, if they beat Fnatic, who's left for them to fear?
Well, exactly right. They've destroyed Mouse. It was a 2-0 yesterday, and really they were comfortable map victories. So Astralis, that's one team.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go through.
Action.
Like the teams that would be dangerous to them now, Mouse, who they've already beaten,
Yep.
FaZe, who have looked incredibly vulnerable this event, dropping to Renegades and almost going out to Greyhound.
Yep.
SK's gone. I mean, they're taking down Fnatic very, very well now. Who even do we have left? Cloud9, maybe?
Well, it's either G2 or Mouse, and obviously Renegades and Tyloo, but I don't see Renegades or Tyloo really being able to stand up against Astralis, nor do I see FaZe being able to stand up against Astralis. And we've already seen Mouse drop to them. If Fnatic drop here, they've already dropped to them. And then really the only one left is G2, who, for their own right, have not looked super impactful throughout this tournament. I mean, they've had some good maps and they've played about as good as we can expect from them. But even against NRG, they were struggling to close that series out. So Astralis should really not be too fearful of any of the remaining teams in this competition at all if they get this victory over Fnatic.
Well, going to be a difficult one here for every other team in this tournament, I think, except for Astralis. There's not really many teams that can actually face them down, potentially. But of course, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. For all we know, Fnatic come in here with a flawless reverse sweep, easy 16-0s. Who knows? We don't. But given the form that Astralis are in, I think they're looking very, very difficult to beat at the minute. I think that's where we expect them to stay as well. Coming into this event, tipped as the best team in the world, certainly living up to those expectations. Looking very tight as a 5-man unit.
Well, here we go on to map number 2. Fnatic fighting for their life in this series. It's 1-0 right now for Astralis, but moving on to Keish, Fnatic's map pick, and I must apologise in advance, everyone in Twitch chat. We are going to be saying Keish. We're Australian. I'm sure you'll find a way to deal with it, but here we go. It's map 2. Fnatic, they need to make something happen here, Tim.
I think we actually, you know what we should do at some point? Actually make up callouts, because everyone thinks we're making up callouts when we use the Australian ones. We should actually throw a fake one or two in there at some point.
Yeah, look right now. Magisk holding in Wollongabba.
All right, let's not do that yet. I think we'll save that for later because we'll have far too much fun and not actually cast the game properly.
All right.
But Fnatic are starting out on that T side. They've got Flusher with some utility hanging out towards A main with the, or Squeaky even with the bomb at the moment. So most likely a Molotov over towards Fork. Maybe the smoke out to block Squeaky or to block off Quad even, and then they'll go straight out. But for now, they've actually taken some damage here, and Lekro on the Deagle, a very lethal player with this gun, but the bomb's actually gone down for free here with Astralis playing retake on A.
Yeah, and that's a fairly standard kind of a strategy out from the CT side on the pistol rounds, but it does mean that Fnatic at least are able to get the bomb down quite easily, so there is that for them in this round, and now Astralis need to find a way to make this retake work. Device already being tagged down. Zipex is the one to have a look at, because he's the one with the defuse kit that's going to need to get onto the bomb. But look at this positioning right now of Crims coming around the back. How is Astralis going to be able to fight their way out of this one? It's an absolute mincemeat right now as the CT side, they're caught on all angles. And Magisk, he's going to try his best, but he's already run out of time and will go down to Crims. Man, Fnatic, they just got so much control around that A-bomb site, just encircling and constricting Astralis.
They did give it to them. They were playing retake on there, but Crims comes through with a big 3K. Not really a lot that Astralis can do there, and that's an excellent start to Fnatic for Fnatic on their own map pick. An excellent start to Keish. Now they're going to go onto this buy. Once again, rifle-heavy setup for them. And for Astralis, Device onto the Scout, everyone else on the pistols. This is definitely a buy that can do some damage, but Fnatic, they've got enough utility that they should be able to navigate this one without too many problems. But of course, we'll see. Astralis, incredibly skilled individually.
Flusher just doing a bit of exploration around in the sunroom right now. As you've mentioned, Astralis have got the purchase device. Let's see what he can get done here with this Scout. Not really having any targets to shoot at just yet. Fnatic setting up very default in this round, deciding not to give anything over to Astralis that they don't have to. Waiting, in fact, for Astralis maybe to go for a little bit of a cheeky push. Try and make something happen, as the CTs are perhaps want to do on a round like this.
Fnatic now taking some mid-control for themselves. They've got players over the boost. Got some utility out to deny it as well, but Golden's gone down lurking through A main. So that's a bit of a problem for Fnatic now. They were planning, by the looks, on splitting through to this A bomb site with the help of that squeaky player, but they've already gone towards B.
Yeah, the mid response as well from Astralis. As soon as they get that pick on A, they read that it's going to be a B take. They've also got the player pushed out into A main. So right now, Astralis, they have all the information that they need. Floating back over to the A bomb site as Fnatic have taken a little bit longer to decide where they want to go. Dupree, he had a chance. Flasher goes very, very low indeed. And Astralis, they've got players on this bomb site. So Fnatic, they might be in trouble. And indeed they are. Device finding two with the scouts. And it's all over already. Fnatic have dropped that round. And that is awful news for them.
Terrible indeed. Great one tap from Crims there to get rid of Device at least, but him dropping the scout, he got 2 kills, but he's not going to be bothered. He's going to be dropped a rifle. And for Fnatic, that's a pretty crushing loss. They will have to force back into this one, as the standard in the meta is at the moment. Generally, every team will force in until one team wins 2, as that is when your money is so low that you can't buy again.
It's unimaginably difficult now for Fnatic to come back into this match early on in the piece. Astralis, you can't give them that kind of a round and expect them to give it back so easily. Now Fnatic are going to have to fight their way tooth and nail through round 3 and hope that they can restore some sort of balance to this map.
There is a lot of rifles up on the side of Astralis now. They'll be ready to shut down this push when it comes, but Magist's actually going to find, take a 1D. He'll find Crims shooting him in the face is what he'll find. And while Crims goes down very low, that's the opening pick. And this is how the last round started for Astralis. So, while there isn't the scout on Fnatic, let's not count them out of this one just yet. Astralis have to mitigate this one 4v5.
Yeah, it was Magisk that got the opening pick last round, and this time he's the one that gets picked as the opening kill there for Fnatic. Dupree, though, stabilizing here. Glaive is going to back him up. It'll be Dupree going down, but all in all for Astralis now, this is starting to look a little bit better with the player advantage, and with Crims being so low, Fnatic are going to have to hit some magical shots with those Deagles to get themselves a chance back into this one. And Glaive just toying with them. Time up. You know, not getting too low for Fnatic just yet, but Glaive doesn't need to be doing anything right now.
There's a lot of utility still available on the Astralis side, and Glaive doesn't even need it. A shot with a UMP through the smoke and a headshot with a jumping UMP. All you need, doesn't matter though. Astralis will close out their second round, and that is going to put Fnatic onto that save as mentioned.
Crims picking up a couple of flashbangs, so wonder what the idea is with those for Fnatic here. Astralis, though, time for them to start investing into the future and building up that economy on the CT side. Ever important. It was an issue that plagued Fnatic on the CT side of Overpass, but not so really for Astralis. And already looking good to start off on the right foot here on Cache is Astralis. Device and Dupree setting up the crossfire there in mid, and this pistol round has amounted to more or less nothing for Fnatic as they don't get a single kill.
And great coordination there from Astralis as well. It looked like all the pressure was on Device, but Dupree swings out from vents to help him out. Glaive gets involved from Highway as well, so immediately mitigating the danger that they do drop that rifle. Device sitting up on $8,000 now as well. Astralis, they've managed to establish their CT economy, and this is a big thing for them on Overpass, getting the money rolling. So now, if they can take out this round, they'll be in very fine shape. If they lose it, they'll still be able to get drops out, though. So for Fnatic, it's dangerous territory, some dangerous waters to be waiting now.
Zipek setting up a smoke grenade. Where's this one going to go?
Is that going to drop into A main? Oh, damn.
Very cheeky. This will allow Astralis to get into main. JW is waiting for them, but Zipex does get rid of Golden. Just has already gotten the information that there's quite a few players bunched up in A main. So the presence was over on the A bomb site. Astralis consequently rotating their players over there, and just the anchor left over on B.
Just Dupree, but he's playing retake, so if he gets smoked out, he might be in trouble. And in the meantime, Flush has actually found the angle on him, so that leaves the B bomb site exposed. The bomb won't get over there quickly enough, though. Already Astralis looking to fight it, but Lekro's looking for a rotator. And Glaive somehow wins that duel, but the B bomb site is open. Zipex is going to need to hit quite a nice shot here.
Well, the majority of the work really is going to be done here by Zipex. If anyone for Astralis, if he goes down, that B bomb site is opened up. Well, I guess Device is here as well, so there is that. But a retake from Glaive seems unlikely. And Flush up peeks into the line that Zipex is holding. Astralis again looking quite strong in this round. Device just holding the perfect angle. He's already spotted out Lekro, and while the trade is there for Crims, it's a player advantage for Astralis, and Zipex could potentially even shut down this bomb plant. Won't even use the opportunity to go through the smoke in case it was a fake. Crims now has a chance in the 1v2.
Glaive is very low, so that's an easy kill if he can find it, but immediately Astralis, they're going to angle for the trade here as soon as they can, and it won't even come to that. Zipex going to shut it out. And while the Molotov does fall onto the bomb, they've got plenty of time to wait for that jump on it with the kits. AK is saved by both Zipex and Glaive, and it's a nice round there from Astralis. The point of that smoke they throw into A main there, by the way, they obviously intended to push it, and the idea is you throw flashbangs in, you get into A main, and most of the time, if you do flash into A main, successfully get a kill, the trade comes from bottom A main, from one of your players, maybe under boost towards Squeaky, someone swinging in and getting that trade frag. With that smoke there, the only way they're committing to that trade kill on Fnatic is if they run through a smoke, at which point Astralis have the advantage. It doesn't work, but they still manage to go 1-for-1. And in the 3v3, Zipex does a great job to lock down that B bomb site, so Astralis up 4-1. Pretty similar to what we saw on Overpass here. Their CT side's looking good.
Yeah, the money is looking great for Astralis. Utility across the board. They haven't really invested in an AWP as of yet for the CT side, but why should they when they're having such an easy time with the rifles already in this round? 30 seconds not gone. And Astralis have found 2 kills, a third just after that as well. Fnatic are looking in all sorts in this matchup. Astralis are just too good right now.
A gun round where Fnatic have not found a single kill. Astralis far too strong. Dupree might go down if he overpeaks here. Lekro, a very sharp player, but no utility to work with, no bomb, no much time. The bomb not even under his control as Glaive walks through a smoke. Lekro goes for a bit of a ragdoll. And Astralis, flawless gun round. Aggression works out perfectly for them. They shut out Fnatic. And I think that might just be a bit of the way that this map is going at this point.
Yeah, well, surely this is a tactical pause out now from Fnatic, as they do have some chatting to do, but they will be onto the pistol armor buy. Their money just not quite there. If they would have got the bomb down, there was a chance to force through, but this time, just pistols and armor, and Astralis have really not seemed to be too concerned about anything that Fnatic has thrown to them so far on Cache.
This one just the pistols, and Glaive is ready for Flusher to come into him, so that's the first frag going over easily. The rifle's already starting to shut it down, and Fnatic have lost the opening 2 opportunities, almost make it 3 here they've had for kills. Astralis with these rifles not really at any risk from the anti-ecos, which is where we've seen a lot of teams so far this tournament dropping rounds. So if Astralis can avoid that, they did drop on an overpass, but if they can avoid that here, they'll be able to continue this dominance. And Fnatic, they desperately need something. They're going to be looking for the 1 dig, but even Lekro is not that good. Jisk and Zipnix shut them all down, or Zipex.
Yeah, Astralis just giving no quarter to Fnatic at all. There's not a single opening that Fnatic can take advantage of. Astralis up to 6-1 now. And Fnatic, they have another purchase through. It's going to be Flusher with the AWP here, so I wonder what the option is with that.
Spawn-based.
Yeah, but where is he?
He's on the far left there, so most likely, I mean, he does it the furthest forward spawn, so maybe it's a fast pick into mid.
B side.
He's going B now. He didn't have a great spawn for B, so maybe it's not a spawn thing and it's
No.
actually just Flusher wants to do this.
Let's see if he can make it work. JW, he looks like he wants to flash himself into mid, and that has not worked at all. Oh, goodness me, Fnatic. I'm not sure what I'm seeing in this round, but it's not impressive at all.
I see why now Flusher has the AWP there, because JW, and only JW, is a player who could make that sort of thing work. He does get caught out, but he's one of the very few players in the world who would even attempt such a play as that, let alone be able to make it work. But now, 2 players done already for Fnatic within the first 20 seconds of the round starting. Leaves Lekro, Flusher, and Golden in a very difficult spot going towards B, but Dupree's up in vents. There's 2 players waiting in CT and in Heaven. This round already nearly over for Fnatic, but still a chance.
Lekro to be leading the charge into the B bomb side, and Astralis really just playing retake for the site right now. They've allowed Fnatic in quite fine, and the smoke should allow them to get across quite safely, which means the bomb will go down. But Astralis with 5 players alive, with so much utility available to them and full kits, should not have any trouble retaking this bomb site. Golden already has been tagged down so extensively by the incendiary thrown by Astralis. And Flusher a little bit unlucky not to land the shot there onto the head, but already we're starting to see Astralis come back into this bomb site and claim it as their own. Flusher stuck behind the smoke. They know exactly where he is, and he has to hightail it out of here. Glaive is chasing him down, and the shot is hit by the CZ. An AWP available for Astralis, and they decide to pick it up. Device has grabbed it. 7-1 now for the CT side.
Somewhat appropriately, we start on the clock in the timeout as time is running out for Fnatic here, Jordan. They're already down 7-1. How are they looking? Crims is getting on the snooze grind again. Something we see a lot of from him. As for everyone else, I mean, they don't look too upset here, Fnatic, but I can't help but notice it's not a particularly vocal timeout. Their coach Jumpy might be having some words behind him. We can't see him behind JW's chair, but no, it looks like he's pretty silent as well. So unless Golden hidden behind that monitor is having a great old chat, then maybe this one's just a bit of a mental pause for Fnatic. Need to figure out what Astralis are doing. And it's not like it's been anything too complicated either. Astralis have just been ready for everything that Fnatic have tried. The mid play, even fast, gets shut down. The fast B play gets shut down. Even when Astralis lose the first pick with their play with the smoke and flash into A main, they trade it back and then win the 3v3. So Fnatic have not gotten much so far this match, this game, or this series. And Astralis are looking dominant already, using Util very, very well to slow Fnatic down. The play is a default one now, waiting for Astralis to push, but why would they?
Yeah, what in the world do you do right now if you are Fnatic? Hopefully they've discovered something in that tactical pause because, like you said earlier on, Tim, time is running out. Rounds are running out right now, and they've caught Zipex off guard, but they still can't manage to get the killing blow. In the meanwhile, one such blow will come from Astralis. It's 4 versus 5 already. Again, an all too familiar scenario here for Fnatic, having to try and dig themselves out of the hole that they have found themselves in. They fall away from the A-bomb site.
There's no picks to be found really anywhere for Fnatic though. Well, they're starting to throw some utility around the map, taking slow mid control. There's not a lot that'll be presented. Astralis, quite happy to hang out, play retake here, play it slowly. Magisk is really the only player under pressure at all from Highway, and as it turns out, he's under no pressure as he's locked down a headshot. There's another player here, and surely Crims gets this trade, but Magisk too good, Astralis too strong. And with 25 seconds, it's a 2v5 needed. Now just 1v5 for Golden.
As I said, Tim, Astralis all across the board individually are firing right now, and that's so difficult for Fnatic to deal with. Golden, while he can hit that nice one-tap onto the player in short, does not matter for anything as Astralis now up 8-1. The economy is blooming.
The smiles are out.
Life's easy for Astralis right now.
It definitely is. And one thing I do want to mention here, during our prep for this event, we all put notes together, and Jordan gave each team a little subheading, just a little tagline for something for us to think about and mentally recall said research. And your tagline for Astralis, Jordan, was?
I actually can't remember.
Form and class. I can.
There you go.
And I think that's very appropriate right now. They just look so good. Device hits the first shot onto Flusher, jumping across with just a pistol in hand. Fnatic, can they do anything to stop this Astralis onslaught right now?
At the moment, Tim, I'm going to have to say no. It just really seems like there is an impossible task ahead of Fnatic right now. It's not really even surprising to say that because Astralis have looked so good, but Fnatic, they are just falling to bits, and Astralis is giving them no chances to come into this matchup at all, which is exactly what they should be doing. And this is a world-class team. This is, right now, the best team in the world. Astralis putting Fnatic, potentially even the second best team in the world, in disarray.
Complete disarray. It just looked very, very lost. This is only a pistol round, but then when you're at 8-1, you've already had and lost both pistol rounds and gun rounds. They haven't found much in either. That's a perfect grenade. Look at the damage from that. It's easy closeouts in mid. There's just so little Fnatic can do. It's not even that they're playing this badly. They're just being so outclassed.
I'm just not even sure what we really have more to say about this one, Tim. Every single round seems to be the same, whether Fnatic have got guns, whether they don't, whether they're pushing B, pushing A, pushing mid, doing anything. It doesn't matter. Astralis, at every single turn, are better than Fnatic right now, and it's not even looking difficult. It's looking so easy right now for the CT side. Fnatic are out of this map, and I don't see a way back in.
Out of the map, out of the series at this point, I think, is The harsh reality which we face. It is going to be the gun round here from Fnatic. They do have the utility ready to go, but Astralis have already nullified said mid-control by taking it for themselves. Magist, they have no idea he's here. Crims is on the other side of a smoke, and Golden's found the first entry, but Magist cannot be stopped. That Golden actually kills himself there. Magist does so much damage as he drops off, he dies.
It looked so good for a moment there for Fnatic, but it's still favourable for Astralis right now.
I'm not even sure there was so much a moment where it looked good. There was a moment where they were getting kills, but it's just... I want to make this very clear. In no way, I'll be saying Fnatic is bad. Astralis are just so good. It's ridiculous how easy they're making this look.
Yeah, and Glaive, he's perfectly situated to shut this one down as well. Has not been checked. Crims has got no idea. He knows there's a player underneath him, but the timing is not there for Glaive. So, Fnatic, what can you give us now in this 2 versus 2? Your best possible chance for the longest time that we've seen here on Cache. They've not really been in any of these rounds, but this one, at least, they can potentially clutch out the 2v2. As I say that, though, Zipex gets the perfect positioning, denies the bomb plant, and now Crims, his position is known. It's a one-and-done position, and Device doesn't even allow him the one.
Gives him the done instead. So 10-1. Let's see what Fnatic can try in this round. There's not even that much to break down. Sure, I could go over all the different strategies that they've tried, whether it's the takes into mid with the utility or the takes onto A, the takes onto B, but Astralis have shut down everything.
Yeah, just look at the frags as well for Fnatic. 1 for Lekro, 1 for Golden. The highest there is 8. There's 2 players on 3. Add all of those up, and you're not getting a very impressive scoreline at all for Fnatic. They're just not even getting themselves into any of these rounds. The kills are not coming across, and the very nature of Counter-Strike comes down to how many kills you can get. Right now, Fnatic are not getting nearly enough.
Fnatic have 16 frags in total. The top 2
in 11
fraggers
rounds
on Astralis have 12 each.
Yeah. Now 13 for Magisk.
As Flusher falls. Fnatic looking pretty outclassed here, but it's not the end of the world. They still have more rounds in this map, and even after this, if they do get taken down here, they're not going home. But dupreeh so patient.
Unchecked as well by Fnatic, and that is going to be a mistake that might cost them. JW has gotten rid of Magisk, which is a power player down for Astralis, but there's so many still left. 4 players, and dupreeh has spotted out Lekro. Glaive will actually finish off that kill, which means dupreeh has an easy angle in onto Golden. The flashbang goes a little bit awry, but really, at this point, who gives a stuff as Astralis make their way back into the B bomb site? Another perfect retake for them. And the bomb down for Fnatic. Well, even at this point, it's kind of a wooden spoon prize, not really a silver lining at all.
And that's one of those things where you just see the individual composure there for Astralis. dupreeh in that position, he could have gone for the player in B main. That would have given him up though, and maybe there's a world where the players or one of the players on B side can get the shot on him as he exits checkers. But Glaive calls that he can hit the shot. dupreeh allows him to do it. That means he's unknown when he swings out. Fnatic just have no idea he was there. And by the time they do find out, it's already a 1 versus 4 for them. Nothing that can be done. The attack pauses here, but what can they really say? There hasn't really been any gaping holes that have been left in the Astralis defense at all. None that I've spotted, none that Fnatic have obviously been able to find, as they've only won the single round. And that was on the pistol as well, going fast A. Maybe something fast would work for them towards one of the bomb sites.
Yeah.
Astralis have been playing retake on A occasionally, retake on B. So if they can pick out one of those bomb sites, get a full execute in there, try and lock Astralis out, then get the bomb down, play like a 5v5, even a 4v5 retake would be better than the 1v4s that they're, or post-plant, would be better than the 1v4s that they've had. And Astralis aren't letting them do anything quickly. Already with mid-control completely taken away.
Fnatic, they don't really want to do anything quickly either. It just seems like they've been cowed out of this matchup. Though, into the A bomb site they do go. A lot of damage done by the grenades. Zipex does manage to get 1 from Fork. Still another player on the side. In fact, 2 is Magisk in on short. Will be shut down by Golden. And 3 versus 3. Another opportunity here for Fnatic. They don't know the device is there. They've done the damage, but with the CZ, he can still come up big, and he might just do that. No, he won't. The shots do not connect, and Golden gets the kill. But the damage still done here by Fnatic. They've gotten the bomb down. Flusher through the smoke. Glaive might not be expecting that and does not win the aim duel. A lot of damage done over to Fnatic, but even still, dupreeh cannot count him out of this round just yet. 2v1. Of course he's going to go for it. Astralis have so much money to play with. And he knows that Flusher is low. Golden has been spotted out. dupreeh gets a great headshot across. Now Flusher on the bomb. If dupreeh hits this shot, it's going to be another magical clutch in Astralis. It's just 1 more in the bank for them, isn't it?
Oh no.
Was there ever any doubt?
temporarily, maybe, but that round is the best one that Fnatic have had in a while, and it did come from something fast. They all lined up in A main, then it was a single flashbang out, they go in and they overwhelm Astralis. That's what I was thinking might have worked for them, maybe something quick, because that is where they had their success in the pistol, but too much damage had been done. It was one headshot needed on the first player, one bullet needed onto Flusher, and dupreeh. Too good in these situations. Lekro still on a big old 1. He has the same scoreline that Fnatic and Astralis do in rounds 1 and 12.
Yeah, that's not a pretty picture to be painting at all, individually speaking, or for Fnatic. Device, he does get flashed out, but dupreeh's good enough for 1, which buys the time here for Device to pull the CZ out and see if he can get anything done. Now the smoke down, but he's been spotted out by Lekro. It does not matter. He's too quick with that AWP. Fnatic, it just seems like they cannot find anything in this matchup every single time. Astralis is too fast, too good, and too smart.
That said, there has been some damage done here, but JW is going to lose that fight to Xyp9x, who continues to push. If he can pick up Prims here, this round is even more done than previously, but he shut it down for now. The Molotov will force the T's back. Fnatic, again, there is nothing they can do. Astralis are ready for every rotation, everything that Fnatic try.
They know exactly where Xyp9x is, but they can't do anything about it. And Xyp9x right now at 14-2, I don't even think he'd care if they tried. He's just going to shut both of them down himself. 50 seconds still on the clock. The bomb now dropped into mid, and Flusher, he hits a nice shot actually, admittedly. Jumping shot with the AWP, but really, for all the fun that it is, it's not going to result in anything there for Fnatic. 13 now for Astralis, and I feel like a broken record right now, but it's just every single round going the way of Astralis, and I have to say it over and over and over again. One more for the CT side.
Fnatic, there's no kind way of saying it, they're getting rinsed. Astralis with the perfect read every single time. And it's incredible the way they're actually playing with Fnatic's timings and everything as well. It's as soon as they get a pick, or as soon as they spot out something, they're taking aggressive mid-control every round, which is one part. Fnatic aren't stopping them. They might try here, but I doubt it. I think they're locked out behind a smoke. And once they have mid-control, they just know everything that Fnatic are doing. And they go, okay, as soon as Fnatic try mid and we kill them, they're going to go mid or A. We've got players there. If they try mid, we've got players there. We're going to kill them. If we try A, it's the same deal. And Fnatic not contesting this mid-control is giving Astralis so much free map control.
Yeah, and up on the boost as well. Device, he hasn't done that so far. Fnatic obviously not aware of it and just hiding behind squeaky door. Device still not under any pressure. Actually pushing on forward. He's got 1 HP, Tim.
Balls.
And he decides to try and take that duel. Of course it goes his way. How could I ever doubt Astralis right now at 14-1? It's where we're going to sit at the end of this half. There seems to be no doubt in my mind right now. Fnatic will be dropping this series. But they have been utterly demolished here by Astralis on Cache.
Outclassed is the word that I would be using, or the phrase, I suppose. JW will get 1 onto Xyp9x. Device just on the 1 HP. Does mean this is potentially doable. dupreeh's low too. But even if Fnatic win a second round here, I mean, it's a victory in terms of the rounds on the board. The numbers there, but I don't think it's a victory in anything other than that.
Well, Magisk still holding up here on Catwalk, and he has been very impressive for Astralis throughout so far today. JW has spotted his head, perhaps not. Magisk does get the kill, and a second option for him there as well, but he can't land the kill. And now it's dupreeh that is going to push on forward. Lekro actually does clutch the round out there for Fnatic. And Astralis take their foot off the brake just a little bit, or off the pedal just a little bit. Allows the second to go through to Fnatic, but is it going to be enough for Fnatic? I'm going to say no, but we'll find out how it does go after the break. monstrous first half from Astralis against Fnatic. This is a statement being made right now by Astralis. They're putting the Counter-Strike world on watch and saying, come at us with everything you've got. It will still not be enough. Now, in my mind, Tim, Astralis, IEM Sydney is theirs for the taking. What they need to do is dispatch of Fnatic, and it seems as though that is going to be an all too easy task right now for Astralis as they head into the second half with a 13-2 lead.
Under no pressure at all. The Danish side looking incredibly strong here. They're coming into this pistol round with 2 sets of utilities, so a strategy in mind. Looks like it's going to be towards A as well. So smokes for truck, flashbangs out, maybe one for middle of site too. And then they're just going to run on in, try and hit these headshots. But Fnatic, they've got a read. There's 3 players over here, plus 1 at truck. They've obviously seen Astralis do this before, and they're ready for it. But with the form that Astralis are in, I'm not sure that's enough, especially not with Glaive hitting P250 shots like that.
It's utterly unbelievable right now, the domination that Astralis are putting on to Fnatic. It just is every single time you look at a player of Fnatic, their point of view, they are just...
One bead.
One bead, yeah, exactly, by Astralis. They're completely torn away from the map, and Flusher in a 1 versus 4. Need I say any more, Tim?
Astralis didn't even care about planting the bomb, as you'll notice that the kill that Flusher got there actually dropped it because they were in no fear of losing it. And like I said, Fnatic couldn't have had a more perfect start to that round. They had 4 players stacked up where Astralis went, and they still got demolished. 14 rounds on the board for Astralis. 2 anti-ecos is the map done.
Yeah. It seems all too easy, really, for Astralis, doesn't it? 14-2. Of course, the force buy-in from Fnatic, but really, what chance do they have right now against Astralis that is looking as good as they ever have, maybe even better than they ever have?
I would say with reasonable confidence that this is the best they've ever looked. It's tough to say, but at least they're certainly on form. No one will take that away from me, no matter what other sweeping statements I may make. But for Fnatic, they've tried 4 players in the A-bomb site. It hasn't worked. Now they're going to try 1. With Crims peeking up through highway as well. But the utility is going to go out. Full execute from Astralis. Molotov's in as well. One of them misses, but one of them lands. Yeah. There's the grenades combo out with the damage as well. They've got extras. They're not bothered. Astralis, they brought everything to this little picnic they're putting on.
Yeah, smokes down for the cross as well. Astralis, the flashbang goes in for Device, and he still manages to get a frag there, despite Lekro causing some problems. And Fnatic, they have stacked the bomb site, so Astralis have some problems. Magist goes down. Fnatic, they somehow come away with that round. Astralis, time to go back to the drawing board. It's not over just yet.
Not yet, but at least that's a little bit of a confidence boost up for Fnatic here.
Force buy straight away there from Dupree. He's not keen to let this one slip.
Deagle and armor. Device going to go for the scout. And this is pretty much the exact buy that we saw win them rounds earlier, admittedly on the CT side, but certainly capable. For Fnatic, however, it will be the full rifles back out. They are limited to a FAMAS on Crims, but everyone else with the guns up. 1 kit as well. And Magisk is looking to open up over towards B. The grenade will hit him, but not for enough. And Flush is going to open up with the first one through the edge of the smoke onto Glaive.
A couple of players creeping through Squeaky there for Astralis, and they've been spotted out by Crims. Can't get the grenade across, which would have been the killing blow onto Device. This round slowing down quite significantly for the T side. Not quite going to get the damage onto the player that he needed.
Device falling back behind that wall does mean that his life is saved. But it's still an A-centric setup here for Astralis. Going to move the bomb and their other remaining player of Magisk over into A main and try and fight this one out. And Fnatic, they've got 4 players here once again. Astralis, they managed to grab that frag onto Flusher as he peeks into them. And Device might just open this round up with a scout. It's dangerous times.
Yeah, 4 versus 4. Still cannot count Astralis out of this round, despite how low quite a few of their players are. Despite the weaponry advantage of Fnatic, who knows what Astralis could pull off for us in this one. JW, creeping close to the smoke, has a very, very good angle to shut those players down coming out from Squeaky. It's just a matter of time before Astralis make their entry into this site. JW, he might have played this one perfectly, and indeed he has. Magisk still somehow manages to get a kill onto Krim, so sharp with the headshot of the Deagle. JW needs to make things happen, and he does. Pushing into Squeaky, gets 2. Zipex and Device going down. Dupree's loafed his way out onto the site, but he can't get any more damage done to the CTs. Fnatic put 4 on the board.
Perfect play from JW there, sitting right in front of the door. Slams it shut as soon as they open it, gets the frags into A main, then chases them in through Squeaky. Playing around the edge of that smoke, that's perfect from him. Mitigates the damage from Astralis and the danger from Astralis, but 10 rounds needed for Fnatic just to tie it up. They should get the first one here pretty easily as Astralis are going full Glocks. Going to sprint on in somewhere and maybe try and get that bomb down if at all possible, get the extra little cash injection. But instead, it's actually a mid play with Glocks very fast. That's novel, but it could work.
Flusher looking to do some damage here with the USP. It is a little bit of an interesting purchase there for him, but in the end, he does know that Astralis is not going to have any of the head armor, and it might just work out for him. He does get the kill onto Dupree, can't follow up onto Device. Might allow the bomb to go down here. I think it will. No one from Fnatic is going to stop that in time. Just the knife kill comes out for Crims, but the bomb goes down for Astralis, so I think that's a worthy trade. Astralis will be happy with that.
That's pretty even money gain for both sides, though. Astralis get the round loss bonus plus 800 a player for getting that bomb down. Crims comes out with 1,500 bucks in his pocket from the knife kill. So, economically, I think that one goes pretty okay for both teams. That will allow Astralis to get onto the bye with the utility here. Zipex hasn't yet purged any up, but I'm sure he will be soon following. There it is. The grenades come out. There is 4 HEs on Astralis. They've become renowned recently for the airstrikes. Let's see what they've got for us. Let's see where they're going. Into mid towards white box. Will they get the opening frag?
Oh, well, the frag grenade's going to be doing a lot of damage. Not quite a kill there onto Crims, but he's down to 29 HP. Won't be feeling too pleased about that one. And
I love
Flusher
this angle.
doing a little bit of parkour up onto the lamppost.
Such a good angle here because it's so easy to fall off as soon as you hit your first kill. If you miss it, you're just going to get sprayed down. But usually, once you hit a shot here, all you've got to do is just tap sideways and you're going straight off behind red box into cover. So this might just catch them off guard, and it will indeed. There you go, exactly as I thought it would go. Flusher finds the first kill. He's immediately into cover and into a new angle. And Astralis, 3v5 to convert.
Rotation coming across now from Astralis. They're going to go for something into mid. Device, one given that duty. 18 and 9 for him so far on this map, and really feels almost irrelevant mentioning the scorelines that Astralis have been putting on the board right now, because all of them are going to be so crazy. If everyone's good, no one's good. I don't know. I think Astralis are very good, but right now they are having a little bit of trouble closing things out against Fnatic. The timer ticking away now for the T side. 30 seconds left on the clock. They've lost another player. Zipex going down, trying to open up the A bomb side. And this is the exact kind of round that Fnatic do need. Just get some confidence back. Just get that CT economy going here in the second half as well. And maybe, there's still something in this one for Fnatic.
We're all about the doom and gloom in the first half for them, but they've started off this second half very well indeed, getting some gun rounds over Astralis now. So, won themselves 4 rounds straight. They've got the first gun. If they can keep up like that, they'll be doing pretty well. Their economy is, well, good at this point. It's established. They've got 2 players with a lot of money that can drop if necessary. And for Astralis, that grenade not going to do too much, but it is just the pistols for them. They'll need to try and find some damage. For Fnatic, though, they're still dancing around, rotating with grenades in hand. Had Astralis struck just then, might have been something in it, but they've got Glaive into checkers. They're going for the boost play, which Crims has already stopped. I think the window of opportunity has been shut.
Glaive is in a pretty interesting position now.
Look where JW is, though.
I see, but the timing could well work in the favor of Glaive. Although JW, of course, was always going to be favored in that scenario. Dupree, what a quick shot with the Deagle. Let's see if he can get another one. Lekro waiting with the AWP. He's not going to allow that to happen. And another shot across there from Lekro. A good one with the Deagle. 7 up for Fnatic. It's suddenly not looking quite as bad as it could have been. But still, we are quite a long time away from saying Fnatic will push us through to map 3. But that's, of course, the objective right now for the CT side. Fnatic did drop map 1. And if they lose this, they'll be going to the quarterfinals tomorrow. Astralis en route to the semis. Neither team will be dropping out of IEM Sydney should they lose this match. But there still is quite a prize to be won for picking up the victory.
Well then, double AWP out on the CT side of Fnatic. Lekro and Flusher with those AWPs. None of them actually on JW here, but Flush has gone straight through the smoke, and Dupree's not been able to find the trade just yet. Flush could get a second, but he misses his opportunity.
Well, Dupree knows now that he is behind him in the smoke, although Flusher manages to get back out into the A-bomb site, into the safety that the rest of his team does provide. And in the last half, you would have said that situation would have gone the way of Astralis 100 times out of 100. But now, the winds of change are in effect as Fnatic are starting to find a little bit of luck, a little bit of impressive plays. Everything's starting to work a little bit better for the CT side. Although, maybe I've spoken too soon as Dupree, Magisk, they open up the A-bomb site. And indeed, definitely, I have spoken too soon. I gave Fnatic a moment there, but Astralis, they steal it away before it really even eventuates into anything.
Micro finds one frag coming in, but Magisk boosted up, should find an easy headshot line. He doesn't. That actually gives away that there's 2 players at quad now. Now they know where all 3 players are with that grenade coming out as well. They can certainly do this.
And the smoke into Squeaky as well, quite good. Glaive is the one tasked with holding off this retake. It's Crims versus Glaive in a 1 versus 1, and the timer ticking away in the favor of Astralis. Glaive, what a flick. He gets rid of him, 15-7. And that is a big round out for Astralis, putting them now on match point. The buy, though, is going to be a little bit weak for Astralis. Of course, they have enough. In fact, actually, Glaive's got a lot more cash than I thought that he did. So they should be okay here. Fnatic also, they've got a lot of money as well.
I just saw, it might still change hands while we're on player cams here, but I did just see an orb getting dropped to Magisk.
Yeah.
Which is a bit interesting. Maybe a spawn-based pick. Maybe something different.
Second orb, perhaps?
Possibly on the T
T
side, but
not so sure.
It may well just be something quick, though, for Glaive to try and throw, or, well, Glaive to call it, for Magisk to try and throw out the momentum of Fnatic, throw out the any chance they might have. Of course, if Fnatic lose a player to an orb shot coming through in the first 15 seconds, then that's going to ruin them entirely for the rest of the round. And, okay, the orb has been thrown back to device. That's what I thought, but it was worth discussing, given we couldn't see what they actually had. But the double orb out for Fnatic. Again, no orb on JW. I'm a bit curious as to why he's not taking that in this matchup, maybe just favoring the rifle with the spots that he's playing.
I haven't really seen him play too much with the rifle at all, actually, even on Overpass, with the orb. Even on Overpass, he was really just making work happen with the rifle. JW very, very low right now. And this Molly might just be enough. No, forces him back. Not able to get the kill.
Flashbanger's in to give JW some space, but with this HP, he can't afford to take a peek here. Magisk is waiting for him. So Astralis, they've done the early damage. JW and Lekro both tagged down, and there's going to be some presence shown towards A. Care of those bullets coming through. Astralis have a good idea where this play is coming from, and Magisk can drop Lekro in the meantime. Creams up on top of the bomb site, needs to have a good round here as he's over the smoke.
1 round away, Astralis from securing their place in the semi-finals. Equal to what Tyloo was able to do earlier today against Renegades. The 2-0 over Fnatic. It's on the cards right now. Flusher by Quad has so much work to do. And with the backup of Golden, well, no longer. As Device shut that one down. And of course, it's Astralis 16-7. A sensational display from them tonight. Completely blowing away Fnatic 2-0. And now we find ourselves with a very, very scary looking Astralis headed right for the semi-finals at the Qudos Bank Arena.
2-0 Fnatic. They're not bowing out, but they are bowing down to Astralis into the quarterfinals. That was a demolition, honestly. There was so much power on display from Astralis there. 16-9 on their own map pick, 16-7 on Fnatic's. They do even better on their opponent's map. And you can see it, I think, on Crim's face. He's not happy with how that one went. But with Astralis in the format they're in, I don't think we expected too much difference.
Well, I mean, I would have thought at least Fnatic might be able to contest that one, but I might have underestimated Astralis just a little bit. Look, I know everyone coming into this tournament was talking about Astralis, and indeed, I was talking about Astralis as well, but for them to come out with a performance like that, really, it puts me on notice now. And I saw a tweet earlier from Jason where he was saying that he didn't think there was anyone now that can even challenge Astralis in this tournament. I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with that, because right now, like we've already gone over it, Tim. There just doesn't seem to be anyone left that can actually challenge Astralis.
SK are out, C9 about out. FaZe are looking as weak as they ever have. Mouse have already been beaten by Astralis. Fnatic have just been beaten by Astralis. Who's left?
And those victories for Astralis were not even close ones either. Mouse goes down 2-0 really easily, and Fnatic as well, a 2-0 very, very easily there for Fnatic. I mean, I'd love to say I think that Renegades or Tyloo could do it, but quite frankly, Tim, that would be a ludicrous thing to say. And right now, like I said, I think the IEM Sydney trophy, I'm calling it early, but it is Astralis really for the taking.
It's not even that early to have called this. I was talking to Sniper about this, and he called it about 3 weeks before the event even started, that Astralis could be the one taking this out. So I think that's pretty much what to look for. But where's the fun in us selling a storyline that we already know who's going to win? It could be any of these teams.
Could still be, but we'll have a look back at how things have gone so far. That's the end of the group stages, at least here on the B stream. Things still going on the A stream as far as I am aware. Renegades and Tyloo were in the winners bracket final of Group A. It was Tyloo that secured their place through to the semis. Cloud9 do bow out against FaZe Clan. So the teams going through from Group A, Renegades, Tyloo, and FaZe. FaZe and Renegades will be playing in the quarterfinals tomorrow. And on to Group B, Astralis just dispatching of Fnatic means that they're in the quarterfinals as well. Mouse Sports currently 1-0 up over G2 Esports. And that means that they're looking pretty good to go to the quarterfinals as well tomorrow. But if you want to check out how that match is going, jump on the mainstream at ESL_CSGO. That's where all that action is going on. It could well be very close to actually being finished off right now. So I wouldn't dilly-dally around. Jump on there and figure out what's going on the mainstream. Do you have an update for me?
I do indeed. That's what I was just asking for. It is Mouse up 3-1 on map number 2,
Okay.
but it's still very early days yet. Plenty of time, exactly.
All right, let's have a look and see what those playoffs brackets are going to look like. Tyloo gets the bye, of course, Astralis as well. It looks like Renegades will be going up against the winner there of the match that is currently on. G2 versus Mouse awaiting them, or Renegades, I suppose, awaiting the victor of that. FaZe versus Fnatic. That could be another good one, I think.
So let's spitball here. I'm going to say that Mouse win that other series just because they're up 1-0, not because I have any real prediction, but just so I can have a bit of a spitball here. I think out of both G2 and Mouse, they can get the win over Renegades, which puts them against Astralis. I'm going to get shot for saying I don't believe in the boys, but, you know, look, we're spitballing. So we're looking at maybe Astralis, either Renegades or Mouse, something like that. FaZe versus Fnatic. FaZe have been shaky. Yep. But that should be a FaZe win.
You reckon?
I
actually think Fnatic will win that.
I think FaZe. Look, I think Fnatic certainly can and maybe will, but I think it should be a FaZe victory for them. They certainly want to win here. They have had a run of 4 second places at previous IEM tournaments. They've been so shaky here. They really want to get that win through, but it's still very open. I think on the bottom side of that bracket there, it's Astralis going straight through into the grand final, but whether or not it's FaZe, Fnatic, I don't think Tyloo are going to make it through to that best of 5, but Fnatic or FaZe,
Tyloo might have something for us, Tim. I mean, we've seen some good plays coming out from them so far in this tournament. We wouldn't have expected them to be taking away first place in Group A, by the way.
You're right. So undefeated so far. They haven't even dropped the map.
Anything is still possible, and particularly if Bentet keeps up the form that we've seen him putting in so far here at IEM Sydney. Of course, for today, again, it is going to be Bentet, our Vodafone Play Faster moment. Tim, I'm not sure if you've seen this one just yet, but it was a magnificent round out from Tyloo. Just get a load of this.
All right, let's see. So going to the B, going to Banana quickly. Bentet gets the first and second. Crosshair placement, fair enough. And because it's Bentet, he pushes B.
He just destroys everyone, Tim.
Jesus Christ, Bentet.
An ace to completely clear out the banana.
That fourth kill was disgusting.
Just a tap, and that's Bentet in a nutshell, really, for you. I mean, I would actually say, coming into this tournament, I didn't have too much faith in Tyloo because they haven't been having amazing results, domestically speaking. We've seen them lose to MVP, we've seen them lose to Greyhound, and admittedly, Greyhound had a pretty good run in this tournament as well, but Tyloo is going one better, and they're actually playing the best Counter-Strike that we've seen them play in the last 6 months, or I suppose at least the last 3 months, but maybe even a little bit longer. But Tyloo now to go up against one of those two teams in the semi-final, it's a off chance, but it is still a chance right now, and Bentet is leading from the front.
Tyloo in the grand final would be ludicrous.
It would be absolutely crazy, but Bentet's moved over to the in-game leading role, and he seems to be flourishing under that one as well. Frees up Xcurd a little bit, who has admittedly been performing quite well, and unfortunately we haven't actually been able to watch any of those Tyloo matches just yet, but that's going to be quite a good one to keep an eye on. I'm a big fan of Tyloo coming from the, I suppose, obviously the Australian region, but I feel there's a sense of camaraderie with the greater Asia-Pacific region for us here.
Yeah, so exactly. Like we're pinning our hopes on Tyloo and Renegades at the moment, the APAC boys.
Absolutely. But we're going to have to find out how that all does play out once we do get to the arena. For us tonight here on the B stream, we are done and dusted. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the Qudos Bank Arena. Have a good night.